Oh, there. It took a little couple extra seconds for me to be live. Welcome to day 3. So I'm going to go. Hello, everyone. Hello to all the new people coming on here. All of those who are here, thank you for being here. If you hear me well, that's a good thing. Just tell me. And I'm going to add my little slides here. Start presentation, start. And we're just going to dive in. Thank you all for being here. I'm always very touched. Okay, so today is day 3, right? And we're going to go and see a lot of things together. And so we saw elegance on the inside, elegance on the outside. Today is elegance in the everyday. And tomorrow, elegance at the table. And then Friday, elegance in relationships. So, all good with the audio. So I'll just continue. Thank you for telling me. So elegance is about self-love. It's about intention, right? So on day 1, we talked about the essence of who you are, right? Not as perfection, but as real present and embodiment. And you felt it in your body. If you haven't seen day 1, I would recommend you go and see day 1. And on day 2, we explored the alignment of our inner being with the outer elegance, right? And if you've been fully present with this experience that we're having this week together, you probably felt something, in fact, right? Maybe you felt like inspired or even emotional. Maybe you realize that there's a version of you that's more aligned and more refined and more powerful too. Than the one you've been allowing yourself to be. And that can feel exciting. I hope you feel excited by that. But it also can feel a little bit uncomfortable because, well, you can realize that inspiration is great, but inspiration does not change a life. What really transforms is when you get that inspiration and you let it really integrate in you and do something about it, right? And here's what I've seen for myself and after coaching others for years is that people don't fall off track because they lack a desire, but because they don't have the structure, the support they need to follow through. And, you know, we can all feel elevated during a masterclass. You can journal beautifully for 3 days, for example, or you can promise yourself, oh, this time will be different. But without a structure or a sort of container that will contain your energy, your inspiration, then it just stays like a daydream, right? Life just slowly pulls you back into old rhythm, your old habits. And so today I want this to be different. It's not about being more inspired, about adding more things. Today is about decision. It's about decisiveness. It's about taking action, right? And there comes a moment when we realize, well, I don't want to visit from time to time this higher version of myself anymore. I just don't want to think about her just from time to time, but I want to live as that woman, the future me, or the woman that you feel you can embody, but that you don't go fully into right now. And you don't want just to visit her from time to time. You really want to live as her, right? And that requires commitment. That requires decision. That requires focusing. That was the word I was looking for. Focusing your energy and putting that energy into movement and commit and decide and move forward. So I invite you for a second, to reflect. And if nothing changes after this week, if you just, close your laptop on day 5 and go back to life as it is, how would you feel in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year? I will tell you how you will feel. You will not feel dramatically worse. You'll just feel the same. And maybe you'll have, the same doubts in front of the mirror, maybe the same hesitation in conversations, the same internal questions of why don't I feel fully aligned with the woman I dream to be, or I know I could be, right? And so now I really want you to imagine things differently. Imagine 6 months from now. I don't know if you can hear the church bells right now, because at 7 p.m. at every hour we have church bells, because I just live right across the street of the church. And they ring every hour. They're ringing right now. And so imagine 6 months from now, you wake up and your environment just reflects your standards. You see, I'm sort of punching forward there, and then all of a sudden, then I put myself straighter here, because I imagine with you. So let's imagine our environment that reflects our standards. You dress with ease, and you move with confidence, and you feel peace inside of you. It doesn't mean that you don't go up and down in life. I mean, we will always experience the contrast in life, always. But there are moments where we get completely entangled in it, and it's very hard to get out of it. But when you start really diving into the principles and all what I offer you, and especially in my coaching programs, all the coachings, then you can navigate much more with flow, the harshness of life, right? And so let's say we move with confidence. We don't over-explain ourselves. We don't shrink too much. We don't hold back. We just feel simply more alive, just more happy of being alive. And that difference does not come from consuming more content. It comes from stepping into a process. Because you see, you've got inspiration, but we've got to make it manifest in our real life. We've got to make it real, right? And so today we're going to talk about that process. And before we do, I want you to understand something very important. You're not here, this is what I believe. You're not here because you randomly saw an ad on Facebook or on Instagram. You're here because something in you is ready to hear, ready to embody, ready to match. And I believe in divine timing. Things don't happen just randomly. And so if you're here, you have a choice, either to close the door or walk bravely, courageously through it. And I'm going to show you what's on the other side of that door today. That's what we're going to see. So on the other side of that door, of course, I'm going to talk to you at the end about the Elegance Foundations program. And I already mentioned yesterday, but I created this program with 3 price points, 3 packages, so everyone can join and have a taste of this. And the doors will close next week on Tuesday, midnight Pacific time. So I'm doing this. You're going to have the replays only until next Tuesday. I don't give you further time for this because I want you to take action. Okay. And this program is literally the the mix of mindset, of strategy, the how do I do this, the manners, the rules, the principle especially, and also embodiment. It's not just a book of rules, and it's not just a vague thing about elegance. You have all the palette of things. You have the concepts, you have the exercises, the visualizations, and also with the third package, the immersion package, you have my coaching. And on the second package, you have one coaching with me where you can ask me any question live. So this is quite interesting. And so this is what said one of my clients last year. My advice to anyone considering this course is simply do it. You will feel renewed, happy, and fulfilled as you leave behind the old version of yourself. And this woman, I remember, she was living, she was having a hard time having confidence in her life. And she was not taking care of herself, not putting on any makeup or anything. Nor dressing. She was just in her, not pajamas, but jeans or whatever. And even in her business, she was just holding back. She procrastinated everything. And this just like pivoted. She started to wear lipstick. Her family said, oh my goodness. She started to wear color. She started to socialize again. And she started her business. I mean, it's like blew her mind how transformative this was. And this is also for you too. And I also showed you, so really quickly, that in December from the 4th to the 7th, 2026, I'm doing an in-person Elegance retreat. And the last one in last December was absolutely mind-blowing. So I give workshops in there where you will get to feel in this real typical countryside chateau in France, the real sense of how it is, old money families. And I welcome you as the host over there. And it's a mind-blowing experience because the area, the chateau is absolutely mind-blowing. And if you're interested, you just send me an email and I'll give you the link for all the details. But I just wanted to show you that. And by the way, if you register for the December retreat, you get the Immersion Elegance program for free. That's the bonus, and this bonus doesn't last very long. So, okay. So let's dive in here. Let's be honest. We women, we give a lot, right? Nothing new here. We take care of everyone else's schedule, and we often put ourselves last. My grandmother used to say, I remember, she said that over and over again. My day starts when everyone is in bed. And I think she even said, my day starts at 11 p.m. or at midnight. Does this sound familiar? Maybe to some of you. And even when we do take time for ourselves, because we try to, sometimes we get some time slots for ourselves, then guilt creeps in sometimes. It's hard to fully let go. We think, well, I don't have to meditate, to rest, or take a bath because, well, just sitting down and offering some time for ourselves is just so difficult. Then we just make excuses, right? And always have other things to do, take care of others, other schedules, and and our mind, our calendar, and loved ones are all asking for more. Of course, because why not ask since we give? Does this resonate with you? Probably. And so here's my invitation for all of us here, because we all need this. We can't pour from an empty cup. I mean, we can't give what we don't have. And so we must, it's a must, absolutely learn how to pause, how to reconnect with our needs, how to fill our cup, and how to give from a place of beauty and strength and being anchored in ourselves, and not to give from a place of lack and sacrifice. I mean, the negative sacrifice, not the noble sacrifice of I'm giving from a place of beauty. And we have to learn how to put ourselves into the receiving mode. And receiving mode, this is the feminine energy. The masculine mode is the go, 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 do structure energy that we need to put ourselves and to know how to do that on a daily basis, to put ourselves into the receiving mode, because this is our core feminine energy. Our core feminine energy is receiving mode. We can, of course, relate to give the love of our hearts, but we need to give in the structure. Structure is the masculine. And in that structure, we must practice giving, putting ourselves into the receiving mode. Last time during the coaching sessions, a couple of months ago, I remembered this woman. She had trouble getting her days quite a bit structured. So when she would wake up in the morning, she would not get dressed unless she had an appointment, and then she would try to clean up a little bit, but not fully, and then she would try to do the meals, but wasn't really satisfying. And then so it seemed like, she told me, it feels like I'm just floating. And what she lacked was what we're going to see today. It was structure. And so we worked on the structure so that inside that structure, the feminine can bloom. Because there was no structure, so how could she dress in a feminine way, in an inspired way? She had no structure, so how could she create a delicious meal? Because everything was just floating. How could she tidy her home? Since she wasn't intentional about it. It was like, oh, maybe I'll just clean this up, and then, you see? But we need structure. And structure is as basic as, okay, I'm just going to dress right now from A to Z. But in that structure, I give myself permission to bring in my feminine energy and my inspiration. But in that structure, at the end, I'm dressed up. You see, I had another woman. She was a yoga coach and a yoga teacher, and her yoga classes were wonderful. And she said, "Oh, I'm just so inspired, and things just flow, etc." But in her life, she had trouble to dress up, because since she was a yoga teacher, like if she had yoga class at 4 p.m., then she would go about not really dressed until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And so it wasn't satisfying for her. And so she realized that she didn't put structure for herself in her life, but she knew how to put structure during the 2 or 3 hours of yoga class, because this is what we saw. In the yoga class, there's structure. There's the warm-up, there's the whatever, there's the welcome of the people. She had this structure. And then since the structure just unfolded, she could let her feminine flow in with inspiration in there. But she didn't put any structure in her just basic everyday life. And so she just felt blocked and didn't know how to go about it, and it was just so frustrated. So setting structure, this is what we're going to do today, and also putting ourselves, knowing how to put ourselves into receiving mode during these slots of structure, that allows us women to bloom. We always need, masculine, feminine. It's a balance. It's cooperation. It's this yin and yang of playing ping pong all the time between the masculine and the feminine. And the masculine is like the bed of the river, and the feminine is like the river, right? So you've got to create the structure for the river. I think the river symbolizing the emotions, probably. Making structure for the feminine to flow. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this comparison. And this will help. We need structure to stop stressing out, to feel safe, and to feel free. There is so much freedom in structure. And I'm not talking about rigid structure. I'm talking about the right structure that is enough just for you to bloom. So we're not in the masculine, hard, and, unhealthy structure. We're talking about the healthy structure, the one that allows us women to become who we truly are. And I have so many other things to talk about in my coaching about this, the balance of feminine and masculine energies, because in elegance, in manners and chivalry, and in communication skills between men and women. And this is just, it's mind-blowing how it can be so helpful. Mind-blowing. So here's what one of my clients say: "You changed my life in the most extraordinary, impactful, fun way. I'm so grateful to have found you. All of your coaching classes uplifted my life in a way I did not know was even possible. Thank you from my whole heart." So, this is about more than elegance. This is about self-love. And self-love begins with intention, because it's a good idea to say, oh, I'm going to go for self-love now. Yeah, but how? How is the masculine energy? Why is the feminine energy? You understand? So why you want this, that's great. But now we've got to put self-love into how. And that's the masculine that will hold the feminine for you to glow. So it's not wishing, it's not waiting, but it's choosing. Choosing is taking action. Whether we're a man or a woman, we have inside us masculine and feminine energies. So we are absolutely capable to decide and to activate the masculine energy for ourselves. And we're absolutely capable to let that feminine energy flow. Usually, if we're too much in survival mode, then we have our masculine energy shields up. We all know this because we need to feel safe. A woman, one of her first needs is to feel safe and to feel heart connected. And so when we feel overwhelmed, stressed out, etc., that is the signal that we need to balance in ourselves masculine and feminine energy so that we can breathe and create enough safety for ourselves, enough structure, and let ourselves flow and get inspired and give and be playful and all those things. Oh, this is not on my slide, but I just can't help myself telling you all of these things because this is so important. So if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got. I mean, basic, right? But if you want to change, you've got to signal to yourself that change is happening. So this is when we go into the concrete, because having good ideas about change, that's great. that we need to make things happen, and we've got to make a big signal to ourselves so that it really happens. This has been life-changing for me. I would not be where I am today if I didn't go on this path of dreaming and then coming into the present moment and doing the things. So to grow into the woman you want to become, you must invest in yourself. You must be intentional with your time, your space, your boundaries, your energy, and you must shift your mindset to match the version of yourself you desire to embody. I mean, you can say it any way you want. This is it. I mean, you must invest time, space, energy. You must be intentional. There's no other way around. I mean, and let's talk about investment, financial investment, because this is also important, because this is a mindset too. For a very long time, when I listened to coaches, I had a very bad money mindset. I'm improving. Of course, I'm not there yet, but I'm on the path and I improved a lot. But at first, when I heard coaches say, oh, you must invest in yourself, and they would say, just like me, time, space, energy, and invest in mentors, coaches, I would say to myself, okay, oh yeah, you're going to sell your stuff and you just want us to invest in you. Very bad money mindset. And then life went by and I didn't invest because I just couldn't stand it, right? Had very bad money mindset at the time. And then things were not working for me. But I've got to admit, the day I truly invested in myself and I put money on the table, and at first it was a little bit and it was what I could, and that was life-changing, because then I invested in people who were a little further on the path than me, and they served me as a guide, as a way shower, and oh my goodness, things just went so faster for me. And I would not be here telling you all what I'm telling you and doing all the things I'm doing if I hadn't invested time, money, space, energy, curiosity, all my being into this. And this is just so true. And I realized that those people, those bad coaches that I thought were at the time, were in fact excellent coaches, because they knew that they changed their life by investing in themselves. The greatest investment that you can do for yourself. And I reminded myself of that a couple of days ago while I was hearing another coach talking about that, and saying to myself, oh my goodness. You can invest in a home, you can invest in things and material, but material, it goes on and off. You can have material, then you can lose it, right? And it makes you happy some while and then not happy anymore. But there is one thing that you will never lose, is your growth. This is, investing in growing your wisdom, your self-development, your knowledge, and all of that is just absolutely an investment. You have return on investment 10 times. I don't know. It makes you happy in your life. That's the investment, and that has no price. So here's what we're going to do. This is what I do. So to be very honest with you, sometimes I do this quickly. It takes me like 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes me an hour or half an hour, because I just love taking time to really get organized, be intentional with myself, etc. So it depends. I have periods where it's just, okay, it's clear. And sometimes it takes me more time. But when it takes me more time, it's also because it feels so good handling things and wanting to experience the week in such an uplifted way. And it works all the time. So, and what I noticed, very frankly, is that when I don't do that, when I'm not intentional, and I just, oh, it's okay for today. Tomorrow is another day. I'll do that as it goes. Then the day is not as good. There's something. I mean, it doesn't flow as well as when I am super uplifted and intentional. So this is what I would recommend. But pick your day. I mean, I say each Sunday because you prepare for the week, right? So each Sunday I prepare for my week with intention. I just look at my agenda and I have a little notebook. And on the little notebook, not to have too many stuff on the agenda so it's still clear, I just write on my little notebook. It's always with me in my handbag. I have this, and I'm very old-fashioned. I like to write. It's a paper notebook. And I review it. And then I ask myself, okay, who do I want to be and feel this week? And so I just look at my agenda. Oh, I have this appointment. I have this coaching session. Oh, I have this. Then I'm going to keep my grandchildren. And then probably during meals, I'm going to have this super conversation with my daughter-in-law. And then I'm going to welcome home my other daughter. And how do I want to welcome her? And I try to be really intentional the most I can. Even with everyday basic things, your children, if you have children, they come and go away from your home every single day, or the people you love, or your family or friends, but you don't want to be just, hi, okay, and do your thing just like you've always done. You want to be more intentional because and be more present for yourself and for them, to honor more the moment, right? And so this is why I really take this seriously, just like my intention for this week. I've been carrying this intention for weeks now, preparing the Elegance week, and each time I went on my laptop to work on it, I would ask myself, okay, who do I want to be? And then it would help me straighten my shoulders again. I want to be that woman. I want to share from the bottom of my heart. Who do I want to be? And how do I want to feel it when I'm going to go live? You see, these are the questions. And so when you're in front of your agenda each Sunday, looking at your appointments, and it can be a dentist appointment, it can be driving, it can be cooking, it can be working or a team or whatever. Ask yourself, who do I want to be and feel with that person, doing that thing, etc., with my husband, my children, my coworkers, during the routines, the housework, the meals, the driving, the errands, in the quiet moments while you're walking in nature, or while you're just preparing yourself to get dressed in the morning and everyone is just either asleep or you're alone and calm. Who do you want to be? This is so life-changing. And I've been doing this for years now, and I realize, well, there are coaches that talk about that all the time. And maybe Brendan Burchard, which is one of the top personal development coaches in the US today. And he says that the top performers have this habit of setting time, pausing in the morning or in the evening for the next day, every single day, to really be intentional with what they are going to do. To make that deal, discuss that thing with their wife, be intentional while they're doing their hobbies, while they're everything. That is a high performance habit. And so visualize it, write it down, Choose words that embody the version of you you want to live as. Grounded could be, grounded, joyful, open-hearted, elegant, creative, committed, loving, organized, whatever. Just put your words. And sometimes I did that for the time being. I'm not doing it actually these days, but Brendan Burchard, that personal development coach, which I like pretty much, he says that when he chooses his 3 words and he puts them on his phone, and 3 times a day, his phone reminds him, okay, are you this? Are you this? And it helps him come back in his lane. This is so helpful. Last year, I had on my phone every 2 hours something that rang, and that just helped me come back to center. Maybe I'll do that again. I'll do that for the sake of all of us. Who's ready to do that with me? Let's do that for the following week. For at least, a good habit is 21 days. Because 21 days, you know why we say 21 days for a good habit? This is my mother. She taught me this when I was small. She would say, when you have a little scar on your face, a little bump, I don't know how to call that. But anyways, a little thing on your face. It takes 21 days for the skin to mature, to refresh and renew itself, approximately, of course. And so think about it. That's why we say new habits, 21 days. Now, this may be not completely true because the nervous system, the nervous cells, maybe it takes more time for them to build. But yeah, let's have fun. This is just popping out of my head right now. Let's do this 21 days all together. And I'll try not to forget to post that on my Instagram stories. If we could choose 3 words of who we want to be and make us 3 reminders, or 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, to say, okay, this is me. Can I just embody this? So that, because we're just like little children, we forget. Children brush your teeth, and we tell them every single day. They should know, right? But we still have to tell them. And we're just like grown-up children. We need reminders. So what I suggest, this is what I do. On Sunday, I go about my week and I visualize about globally, I have this, the big things, right? And then I do that for each day. And I do that in the evening. My husband, for example, he prefers preparing his day in the morning. It's just a matter of preference. I prefer going to bed and knowing that everything is clear. I know what to put. I know what to wear. I know where I'm going, so that when I'm in the foggy morning, I don't have to think and decide right away. So every evening, I just visualize. I go with my agenda, my little notebook, and I just go through my day. Like those athletes that go skiing and they prepare the slalom, going down the ski. And sometimes before they practice, they rehearse their slope. And you can see that they're going nowhere, but their eyes closed and they're making micro movements like this, and they're rehearsing their slope. And this is this is what I do. I try to see if all what I fit in my day, does it fit in? Is it realistic? And then I rehearse my slope of the day, and with the right energy, the right intention, and oh my goodness, days flow much better when I do that than when I just, lay back and say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. So I'll move forward now because I've been a little explaining a lot of things here. Now we have to make changes in our environment, because mindset is powerful, but you must show yourself that change is real. So ask yourself, how can I physically show myself that things are shifting? So the first step is, I told you can put on your phone reminders. So that is sort of a physical thing that manifests. It rings or you have this reminder. showing you that something is different. But there are also things that you can do to really like a wake up. Okay, no, things are different right now. So make it simple but symbolic shifts in your environment. Like move a piece of furniture. You've seen this thing for years, months and months, and you're just going to move it. So it's like, ooh, this is different, right? Paint a wall or change curtains, declutter your space, your home, your office, even your car. Eat in a different setting or with beautiful dishes, instead of taking your coffee, we all do that, in the same chipped mug. Well, why don't you take the beautiful, I had a client the other day who said, oh, I got my aunt's teacups and I took my coffee in those teacups on the bench, and she's living in a warm area right now. And she said it felt delicious. I mean, all of a sudden the coffee, the morning plain coffee just felt uplifting. This is elegance and manifested in your reality. And this is what I cultivate every day, more or less, of course. Nothing is perfect. But this helped me so much when I faced so many difficult things in my life. You cannot imagine how this is so helpful. So this is what I desire for you, to make your life look so beautiful, so that it really uplifts you. So refresh your beauty routine or your bedroom, or do something different. These are signals to your brain who said, I am not who I used to be. Things are going to be different. There's change right now. Change is in the air, right? And I wrote that you could download the PDF guide to discover easy rituals. Yes, probably you'll find other resources. I give a lot of resources to my clients, a lot, because I don't take things lightly, and I'm sort of a perfectionist, still working on it, trying to release a little bit, but I over-deliver, overdo things. So I make sure you get things. It's not just fluffy stuff. 3, concrete change in the way you show up. So this is a good example. And all of this, you see, it comes together. This is the third point, but you will see how you can use it in what we just said. If your life were a film, would you be proud of how the main character shows up? For the PDF guide, you will find it with the replays. If you're here, you've had links and links and links. They're always the same links. And on that link where you get the replays and everything, you get all the PDFs. You just have to scroll down, you'll find them. Or you go into the WhatsApp group. I just shared them before the live. And so begin showing up as the woman you want to become. And ask yourself, what would she wear? What would she eat? How would she walk, stand, move through her day? And years and years ago, I was very, very scared and afraid of so many things I've gone through a lot of. And I remember my husband and I and my children, we were going on a very special trip. And I was quite stressed out because things were not so easy for me. And the trip was like, okay, I'm doing this, but I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to do this. And what helped me so much is that I just was imagining the woman I wanted to be during that trip, who she would be in that airplane, who she would be, how she would wear her clothes in the airplane, how she would wear the clothes once arrived at the hotel, once arrived at the beach, what would she do, how would she talk to her children. Well, all those things, I just visualized the thing. And when I went there, because physically it was difficult for me, but the fact that I visualized and it was totally uplifting me, totally. And this was one of the best moments of my life, because I started to step in that woman. Yes, I can do it. I can be strong. I actually can do this. So and I said to myself, how can I walk? How can I stand? What am I going to prepare? How good am I move? Who is that woman going to be? Oh, I'm digressing again. I'm too long. But this gives you real concrete examples. And I really believe concrete, real life sharings really uplift us more than anything else. Not people who just hide behind their desk and say, So, visualize your week like a movie. How do you carry yourself at the grocery store? How do you sit at your desk? How do you eat your meals? How do you speak to others and to yourself? Elegance is a way of being. Remember that. And start becoming the elegant woman you want to become, moment by moment. And when you just forgot, you forgot. It's okay. Then you just reset for this next segment. And four, enrich your life. I would never be here doing what I'm doing if I didn't listen to my curiosity. I'm a very curious person. Each time I don't know something or I come across a problem, I want to know more about it. I want to solve it. I'm curious about everything and everyone. I just love to know more. And curiosity led me to learn even things out of my comfort zone, out of what was validated from my education, my social, maybe a little bit stiff settings. I went out of the box, completely out of the box, but it saved me. It actually saved my life, because I was so curious that, well, too bad if it doesn't fit in what I was supposed to think. I am too curious to know what other people from other worlds think. And that absolutely was life-changing. And so if you want to feel more alive, more fulfilled, and more free, you must engage with life more deeply, more intentionally, and ask yourself, what would I love to learn, feel, and experience next? This is the true game changer. This is what makes you feel alive. The dress, okay, the purse, the nice stuff that you can have, that's great. I mean, it's a gift of God. It's a gift of life. When you can have them, it's a gift. So enjoy them, of course. But what will really fill you up is your own personal discovery, your experience, which has no price, which is priceless. And so ask yourself, really ask yourself, what would I love to learn? And go learn that. What would I love to feel? And that is something that we work on in coaching. How to reprogram our bodies to learn again how to feel those uplifted emotions that we so much want to feel. And what do we want to experience next? This is what I call the sweet spot. Knowing how to reprogram your body to feel so good without needing the exterior to match that. And the magic thing is that when you get your body to feel those elevated emotions, well, the magical things that you dream of, they come into your reality and they flow in. It's, you probably heard of law of attraction. This is it, right? So get coached to grow in confidence and direction. Turn your car into a classroom. This is what I do. Each time I go somewhere, even if it's for 5 minutes of car, I put my phone on and I press play. I listen, I learn, I reflect. Join communities of like-minded women. Start that dream project, the book, the event, the new business. Say goodbye to what no longer serves you. Oh, I've had enough of this. Let's change now. This is no longer me. And all we have is now. And in the now moment lies our power of transformation and love. And we've already talked about that on Monday, I think. So here's one testimonial. My husband and adult children have all noticed the changes and are very happy about the effect it has had on me by doing your course. I more willingly give myself permission for self-care and accept how important it really is. So, how would it feel to wake up renewed by leveling up your life in a heartfelt, profound way? Oh, thank you, Raza. So, feeling proud of you in front of the mirror, not having this little voice of, don't like this, oh, you're tired again, this doesn't go, but feeling proud of who you are and feeling uplifted in your environment, making your environment beautiful and uplifting, and receiving positive feedback from others, and just feeling much more happy and aligned overall, right? We all need this. But maybe you have a little voice saying, oh yes, I would like that. And then, but. It's the but voice, the inner blocks to elegance. Do you ever think like, I don't know what suits me. Everything I try, I'll just always feel awkward. I'm unsure in social settings. I've always been, so just have to cope, right? Or I'm not creative or stylish, or I'm scared of how others see me. So these are limiting beliefs and they're not facts. And I'm here as a life coach to tell you that they can be changed and you can grow. Elegance is a journey, right? You're allowed to try, to explore, to evolve. I mean, I mess up, of course, every day. This is life, right? We don't need perfection. But you need guidance. We need guidance. We need practice and self-trust. Because creativity, good news, women, here all listening to this, creativity is already inside you. It's a skill you can awaken, of course. You know, before 25 years ago, I wasn't creative. I was so much in my survival. I couldn't create. Creativity is in here in the heart. And you can't be in your heart if you're in survival mode. It's impossible. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that over and over again, and it's so true. So that's why I talked about receiving mode, and that's why I talk about the principle of the heart, because if you want to know how to go about this, you've got to go in here. So the inner blocks to elegance, but I don't have the right body. I would like elegance, but my belly, my gray hair, my nose, my weight. We all have doubts and setbacks. We all have our stories, all of us. You need to focus on the beautiful woman that you already are. You just need to know how to make your beauty glow inside out. And I will help you start loving yourself in ways you've never before done. Maybe you have blocks that say, oh, I'd like that, but I don't have the money to be elegant. My finances are too tight, clothes are so expensive, buying elegant quality items is out of reach for me. Well, elegance is not a question of money. I think I said that yesterday. You can buy secondhand clothes, exchange clothes with friends, and make your own clothes, just like me. Or you can start to be elegant with what you have today. There's so many things you can do, even if you don't have a good wardrobe, or even if you have the money, then you can just go about and buy what feels good to you. It's not a question of money. You can be elegant with who you are and what you have today. It's not a question of money. No way. And I will help you with an elegant money mindset that changes everything. Or maybe you have this block that says, what will other think about me? We had a question yesterday with that sort of thought. What will they say if I elevate my style? I'm afraid people will think I'm a snob. Or what if my husband and children don't like my new lifestyle? You know, at the end of the day, the person you are facing is not the others. It's you. It's you. So people can spend a couple of minutes judging you, but they are generally more preoccupied by themselves than you. Sorry to say that, but it's true. A snob person is someone who pushes people down to feel superior. And if you're already afraid of people thinking of you like that, this is proof that you are not a snob, because you're just so aware of you don't want to push people down. So of course you're not a snob. And elegance is about an open heart, and people feel it. So trust your heart. I'm sure you can feel that I say and work with my heart here. I'm sure you feel it. I have lots of testimonials who tell this, to people who give me this feedback. So this is how I operate most of the time. At least I do the best I can. I mean, nothing's perfect, but you can feel it. And so, little parentheses here, but I so much want to help you. When you look at others and you look at them and you say, oh my goodness, she does this so well. Oh, and she has this, and this is so nice of her. And how can she do this? And you look at all the super ways she's going about her life, and you feel like that is so amazing. And it feels like, oh, it's so far away from you. Guess what? The good news is that if you resonate and if that strikes a chord in you, it means it's already in you. You are capable of doing that too. Now, of course, this is true too for the negative part too. Oh, if you don't like this, then look inside. Then that makes you work. But that just makes us evolve and grow, right? But trust that if you like people with their warm welcoming and their heart-centered way of doing things, then it means it's you. You just have to give yourself permission to let it go a little bit more outside of you, but you already have that. Don't diminish yourself and say, well, she can do that, but not me. It's not true, because if it resonates for you, you have it too. And, we all have a heart, so. So if your close ones are not used to your new style, give them time. They will see how aligned and happy you are. And you will see. So here's another block. I don't have the time and energy right now. My life is too busy. I'm going through health issues. I already feel so tired. How can I add elegance with no energy? I have one client who is very with a lot of health issues, very serious things. And the coaching just helped her so much. And she actually says it brings her so much more energy. So beauty and elegance will nourish you and fill you with more energy. I mean, even if you're just plainly tired because it's winter, lacking time and energy is when we are not aligned, in fact. And I will help you gain clarity and declutter your life with this. So the question is, would you like to shift your mindset and habits to a point that you feel so confident and elegant in your life? That's the real question. But here's what I see after years of coaching, and also after years of trying to figure things out myself. We try to do this alone. We download the PDFs, we buy the books, we promise ourselves, oh, this time I'll follow through. But without accountability and deeper guidance, our old identity wins and nothing really changes. We know that. And there comes a moment where inspiration must become a decision, a commitment, loving yourself enough to honor your desire of elevating your life. So probably for some of you, that moment is today by joining the Elegance program. And the Elegance Foundations program is a step-by-step transformation across 5 dimensions of your life. Your energy, because I work a lot with energy, intuition, standards, your social presence, personal expression, your relationships. And there are 7 in-depth classes, each about 2 hours, with exercises, visualizations, and real-life integration. And these pre-recorded classes aren't just theory. It's a turning point. You walk away with practical tools and an emotional shift that changes how you carry yourself from inside out. And I'm going to, right now, start the offer so that you can jump on right in. I'm just so excited for all of you joining in this this program because I know how valuable it is. And the feedback up to this point has always been amazing. And I'm mind blown by this because, sometimes we do things and we do our best, but we're just humbly doing this. And then people come back with real transformation. And I'm just so blessed. And you will have everything you need to show up as the elegant woman you truly are. This is just like coming home. Yesterday we talked about remembering that will uplift and transform your life. And here's what a woman said: "You have been my greatest inspiration to change, and I feel so different, and I'm truly loving myself. Thank you." So this program isn't for you if you're not ready to reflect, grow, or take gentle action. Or if you prefer quick fixes over lasting transformation, because I'm for lasting transformation. And if you're close to new perspective or inner work, because I just dive deep all the time. But this program is for you if you're ready to elevate your everyday with intention, if you value beauty, grace, and confidence in daily life, and if you want practical tools to embody from within. So I always work, I told you that, at 3 levels: the strategy, the mindset, and the energy, with the exercise, the personal stories, the concrete examples, and the deep principles of French manners and elegance and life-changing wisdom. We just go up high in the sky and we go down into the concrete to the how-to. So here's what says one of my clients: "It was a wonderful experience being in this program, Ode. I looked forward to every class. As valuable as the content was, your energetic component is what made my experience priceless." Yes. And so the 3 different packages. In each package, you have, of course, the Elegance Foundation classes. Okay. And you have the recorded 2 sessions Q&A, and you have the bonus, the yoga routine, the cake and biscuits, and you have the vortex, which is a huge bonus of 7+ hours of law of attraction, of energy work, this vortex by itself has been totally life-changing for myself. Totally. And plus, so that's the essential. That's what you get at $197. At $347, you get all my workshop library plus a live question Q&A session. That is, I think it's the 3rd of March. It's the Tuesday. So that's why I'm closing the doors next week, because I have to prepare then for the live sessions coming in. And then when you join the Elegance Immersion, and by the way, the Elegance Immersion is the part you get for free when you come to the in-person Elegance retreat in December. That's just something I want to say. And here you have 4 live group coaching calls and access to a private WhatsApp group where I'm there and you can ask me questions all week. And so the 5 group coaching calls, it's really taking you from point A to point B. And this is where we don't just learn elegance, we really install it. And so week 1, and you have these workbooks, these PDFs, week after week that you can keep for yourself and keep working on them. And where you redefine the woman you are stepping into. And then we rewire habits. So you see where you want to go, then we put that into the concrete. And then, once you put that into the concrete, and when you need to push go, then you have resistance and fear. So there we're having a healing session, because I'm still a therapist. we release what sabotages you, and we go into profound healing sessions, energy embodiment work. And then in week 4, you have the really embodied, since we cleared a lot, then you let that sink in for the transformation, and then you get extra roadmap for you to continue with yourself on the journey. So this is extremely powerful. And this week, today, if you are among the first 5 people to register for this Elegance Immersion Pack, which is the high value one, you receive a private one-on-one coaching session with me. And once you register, just leave me a couple of moments. I'll probably send an email next week because then I'm going to travel this weekend, and so you'll know when if you won the one-on-one coaching. So this is another testimony. You changed my life in the most extraordinary, impactful, fun way. Don't forget that this is fun. And I'm so grateful to have found you. All of your coaching classes uplifted my life in a way I did not know was even possible. Thank you from my whole heart. And this is, I have plenty and plenty of testimonials like this. And they're real life testimonials. I didn't make them up. So I'm always blown away. And so the free bonus for the December workshop, where it is in the chateau. This is where we have the workshop. This is maybe one of the rooms where you sleep. This is the dining room. This is what we're going to visit. It's stunning. And so click on the link to join the Elegance Foundation program. Really, I invite you to come on and hop in with me. This is just so powerful. If you feel like you're at a turning point in your life, things are changing, you're closing one chapter, you want to open another, or you just want to open the spring chapter that's coming on here, you want an uplift, you want a refresh, a renewal, etc., just join the program. You will be really happy to join all the wonderful women who come in here. And really, I invite you to come on. And so tomorrow, day 4, we're going to see Elegance at the Table. And I have 2 questions for you before we close this today. What touched you or inspired you most in today's class? This is very valuable feedback for me because it helps me a feeling that I was on point with you. And what question would you like to ask me in the chat right now? So I'm just going to look here if you have any other questions that I maybe have missed. However, what do we do when we live with someone who creates a messy environment so it affects my beauty? Well, Susan, I understand this, but when you start changing your energy, your dynamic, you will see that things will change in front of you. And it will also change the dynamic. It will also change the way you will be able to affirm who you are, your standards, and what you expect. Because the messy environment people create around you is not very respectful of who you are. If you are particularly fond of a nice environment, so you will learn how to respect and love yourself enough to be able to communicate what you want in a nice way, so that then people will align a little bit. It might not be perfect, but at least you will feel better in that in that environment that is beginning to change. And a messy environment usually, because I've gone through that. I had periods in my life where I was quite messy, not tidying enough, and I now see that when that's the case, it's just that things are mixed up in my head. And a clean and clarity comes with clarity inside. And messy comes with messy inside. So this is a direction you can think about. But what I suggest too is that you enter in communication with this, or if the messy environment is due to little children that are probably not capable to clean up, then you have to set their standards and introduce in your agenda moments where you will learn those children how to put things away little by little, but at what they are capable of doing according to the different ages. But if it's like a teenager who's messy or an adult, my goodness, we can do something about it. And you can ask for honor, respect, fun, and doesn't have to be tense around the subject, but you can do this. Thank you for the question. So, what would you love to learn? Yes, that's indeed. Happy brain, happy life. Yes. I'm just checking that if there are any questions. This is a great idea. Anushka says that it would be helpful to hold a small personalized space that maintains your sense of beauty. This is an excellent idea. I didn't think about that right away, but this is excellent. You have your space. You need your space, and no one should come and mess up your space. And you should put your boundaries there. Mary says, you're already helping me so much. I'm so happy. Thank you for today. A good rest. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just looking if there are any questions. What inspired me was the truth to take 21 days to change. I definitely will begin writing our intentions for the week. I'm going to clean out things beginning today. Oh, great. Thank you for sharing. I enjoyed the idea of creating a character and then emulating that for yourself. Yes. May I ask, I'm going to a wedding and I have this glorious circular clutch. It's a statement piece. Is it true that you should not put a clutch on the table? Or should I hang on my... What would you suggest? Oh, what you can do, if you can't hang it, just put it behind you, but on behind your chair. Or if you're afraid, in restaurants, busy restaurants, and you're not too sure, you wouldn't want your clutch to be taken, robbed or whatever, you can just put it on your lap, on your knees, and put your napkin above. I mean, there's no, there's a lot of fuss around etiquette on this, and, things are quite simple. Unless you go see the King of England, things are a little bit different. But aside that, it doesn't really matter. Just put it in a practical way where it doesn't fall on the floor. And of course, don't put it on the table. I think it's better on your chair behind you, because we're not supposed to lean on our chairs anywhere. So there's a space behind you. So today is taking me back where I used to be, to the person I was. It has been so inspirational and uplifting. Oh, so happy. I was inspired by your statement regarding an elegant money mindset, investing in ourselves, and being a lifelong learner. Oh, yes. From today, I take the way you visualize yourself and the person you want to become. This is crucial. Dear ladies, this is crucial. This is how you're going to do it. What a powerful insights. I truly enjoyed it. Huge admirations the way how you transmit this. Oh, thank you. I'm grateful for the reminder today that elegance is about open heart and people feel it. Not only what they see in your new way of dressing, which can be a matter of taste. Yes. So elegance is more about the way people feel around you than only the way you look. This is encouraging. Yes, we're going to this is a perfect transition for tomorrow, because tomorrow or the day after, don't quite remember, but I'm going to go into that topic. I'm beginning my 21 days today too. Looking forward to doing it. Great. Seems like very gentle season. Thank you. So thank you for all of you being here. And I'm just thrilled and excited to welcome so many of you in the Elegance program. Women in there are just, they enjoy this program very much, all of them. So this is what I wish for you. And thank you so much for being here. and I'll see you tomorrow.